Scoop my chair up. Feel me? How y'all feeling, man? Peace Reflections. We are back on here with another live video. This live will be getting uploaded to my YouTube channel probably sometime tomorrow, right? I got a YouTube video dropping later today. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. I want to give a huge shout out to the Most High in general for everything. I'm also giving you a shout out to the Most High for giving me these amazing downloads, dropping this amazing good information on me from no cap, etc. I'm also giving a huge shout out to myself as well for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a huge shout out to everyone and to y'all. Y'all literally take energy out of y'all's day to come rock with me, show me love and support. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. It's so much more to love always deeply. I'm also sending good positive energy, good positive protection, good positive feeling, and good positive energy towards everyone always deeply. If and yeah, also I'm still doing one-on-one consultations. So if you want to do a one-on-one consultation with me, DM me on my Instagram at humbleali2times. I'm gonna say that one more time. DM me on my Instagram at humbleali2times, and we'll get you set up so we can book you a consultation, a one-on-one consultation. Let's go ahead and get ready into the video. So look, right, why the system doesn't want you to think. Appreciate who's ever in here. The reason why the system doesn't want you to think is for many reasons, right? See, when you are thinking outside of the box, right, you become a target. What I mean by you become a target is you become a target because you are now starting to questioning your reality. You are now starting to see the real actual picture. Because what the system does, the system is designed to keep you distracted. It is designed to keep you vibrating low vibrational energy. For an example, you can just step outside your house. It's a bunch of distractions. Women, men, drinking, bad foods, right? Entertainment. It's just so many different distractions when you walk outside your house. And even if you're a person who likes to stay inside your house a lot, it's still a bunch of distractions. You have food, you have women, men, you have entertainment, you have social media, right? You have so many different things to distract you. I'm not trying to put down women or men. I'm saying that men can be a distraction sometimes and women can be a distraction sometimes. And I say that with all due respect, not trying to be mean or nothing like that, but that is the truth. Now, respectfully, the system wants you to stay in this box. The system has created this box and they want you to stay in this box. They don't want you to break out of this box. They really don't even want you to realize that you're in this box. And if you do realize that you're in this box, they want you to be comfortable in this box, right? One of the main reasons why a lot of times people don't awaken is because they don't want to awaken, right? They have become very comfortable being in this box, being in this system, right? The system doesn't want you to question your reality. The system doesn't want you to question God, right? Why would you not question God? It created you. It knows everything about you. It always knows what you're thinking. It always knows what you're feeling. Why would you not question what created you? Shouldn't you be questioning what created you? It created you in the first place. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? What's up, Trev? So look, right? The thing is that the system doesn't want you to think. Appreciate appreciate everybody being up in here. The system doesn't want you to think. The system doesn't want you to take care of yourself. The system doesn't want you to truly better yourself, right? The system is designed to try to make you stay in that low vibrational energy, right? Why do you think it's so many entertainment industries, so many different distractions, right? So many different things to try to keep you occupied from yourself, right? We think it's a trend now to be in nature. We think it's a trend to be with yourself. We think it's a trend to not be on our phone. We think it's a trend to work out now. In reality, these are things that we naturally should be doing, that we naturally used to do, right? The system doesn't want you to, the system doesn't want you to break out of the system, right? A lot of people have become very comfortable being in the system, being in the simulation, being in the matrix. So they think it's normal, they think it's the norm, but in reality it isn't the norm, right? The matrix is designed to make you believe into something that isn't what it actually truly is. The matrix is kind of like a painting. So they paint this painting And they want you to focus and put your energy on this painting. And they want you to think that this is the painting. This is the true painting. But in reality, if you look closely, and if you look close enough, you'll realize this is a fake painting. And if you move that painting to the side, behind it is the actual real painting, the real world, right? You see what I'm saying? The system. So somebody asks, what is the system? The system is the Matrix. The system is the Illuminati. The system is the elites, right? The system is the higher-ups, right? Yakub, this is the system. We are somewhat a part of the system as well, right? And the system doesn't want you to think for yourself. It doesn't want you to have a conscience. It doesn't want you to think. It doesn't want you to question your reality. It doesn't want you to be yourself. Why do you think the system pushes so much? Be everything but yourself. Wear a mask. Smile when you don't want to smile. Talk to people when you don't actually want to talk to people. Dress a certain way even though this isn't how you want to dress. Wear your hair a certain way even though this isn't how you actually want to wear your hair. Not too long ago, certain jobs wouldn't let you wear locks. Why? Because it's a frequency battle. It's an energetic thing. When you have locks, the energy, the energy is on a different level. It's on different levels. You see what I'm saying? It charges you up. They fear who you are, and they fear what you could become. Right? Why do you think the system is always watching us? Right? Listening through our phones, through the TVs, through the smart refrigerators, through the cars, etc. Because they don't want you to activate more. They don't want you to level up more. It's kind of like solo leveling in a way. They don't want you to level up more. They don't want you to become even stronger, because you can get so strong and so more powerful and so much better to where now you aren't even working for the system. You're working for your own system. You're working for your own programming system. And what I mean by you're working for your own programming system is you're working for the thing that you have manifested, the thing that you have created, the thing that you have brought upon into reality, into life, right? You see what I'm saying? You are powerful. You are more powerful. If you are a goddess or a guy, you are more powerful than the system. So you see what the system is doing, copying and pasting, creating things, right? So imagine what you can create. Imagine what you can copy and paste. Imagine what you can manifest, right? The system doesn't want people like myself speaking this real information, right? Why do you think it's barely any people on this live? Because of the information that I speak, the frequency, it's the energy, right? If I had a bunch of people on here and we was talking about drama and cussing, it would be a different frequency. It would be a different energy. That's the thing. When you're somebody who posts spiritual content, you might not necessarily always get a lot of views on your video. What you may need to tend to realize is that energy is a real thing. Energy is everything. Energy is all around. Energy is everything. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't even on a high enough vibration to take in this type of information, right? And a lot of trolls who be in people's spiritual lives, a lot of them, their higher self, they be fighting their higher self, because their higher self got them in there. They really want to listen. They really want to figure out who they are more, but they in their ego too. They want to troll too. Because somebody who truly don't want to hear what you're going to say, they're not going to be around you, dog. So trolls, a lot of these trolls, they be really mad smart and mad consciousness. It's just they in a battle with themselves. They trying to like, their higher self is one of the main reasons why they in there. Because their higher self like, man, let me just come in here. But then the ego is also like, man, let's troll. What they saying is so wrong. But if it's so wrong, why are you in there? Why are you still in there? Right. Because that's your soul. That's your higher self trying to tell you like, hey, look, this is real information. You need to listen. You see what I'm saying? It's the difference between a troll and then it's the difference between somebody who doesn't think that this is right and then stops watching the video or stops watching the live. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? Right? People who speak this real information, we should have a bunch of views. We should have a bunch of people involved with this positively. But one of the main reasons why a lot of us don't is because of what we're speaking on. The system has programmed people to think that information like this is boring or it's not entertaining, or it's incorrect, it's crazy, it's theoretical, not necessarily true, right? And then the things that people do question, a lot of times those things don't truly matter, or they don't matter as much as a person or as an individual may think that they matter, right? A lot of times we aren't questioning what we're eating, we're not questioning what we're wearing, right? When you're wearing clothes, this can mess with your electricity. In other words, this can mess with your frequency, because electricity is frequency. Why? Because electricity comes from frequency. Electricity cannot exist without energy. In other words, atoms cannot exist without energy as well. In school, they taught us that everything comes from atoms, which is a complete lie. You can go so much deeper than that. You can just simply say everything comes from energy, because the atom is manifested through energy, right? So everything isn't created from an atom. Everything is created from energy, right? Atoms are manifested and are being formed and are being created and are being shaped. And the full process of an atom comes from energy. You see what I'm saying? Right? So really, in science, you could really just write every answer. Like if you're taking a test or a quiz in science, you can really just write every answer as energy, because it's actually not incorrect. It's actually going to be very correct, not incorrect, because everything in life is energy. Everything in science is energy. So if you write on the sheet of paper energy for every answer, you're actually not wrong. Now, most teachers, if not every teacher, might count that as wrong, but in reality, you're actually correct. You see what I'm saying? Because every answer in science is going to be energy, because everything is energy. That's one of the ways how you can answer the question. You see what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, we back on here, y'all. So look, right? So, where was I at? Peace. What's up, Rose? Peace. So look, right, with the system, right? The system, they want to keep you distracted, right? They don't want you to be focused. They don't want you to, you know. But what was I talking about? We was talking about what? What was we talking about? What was we talking about? We was talking about school, right? We was talking about science. So look, right, with science, right? Yes, in science, every answer in science, you could put it as energy, because everything is energy, right? Now, most teachers, if not every science teacher, is going to mark that maybe incorrect, or not maybe give you the full credit for it. But one of the correct answers to answering a question in science is going to be energy, because everything is energy. Everything is energy, right? Everything is not atoms. Everything is energy. Atoms come from energy, right? And the thing is with the system is every answer in science is going to be energy. Exactly. Shout out Rose. Very correct. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing with science. With science, they're not teaching you the true essence of science, right? And even if you do run across a teacher who is teaching you real information about science, they're not going to go fully in depth, because most science teachers, if they're working at a school, a lot of them aren't awakened. They don't really know much about the pineal gland or about the pituitary gland, or even if they do know some type of information or insight about it, they don't know they don't know the more spiritual side of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though everything in science is spiritual, right? The thing is with science is that science is what you make it in a way, right? Appreciate the likes, appreciate everybody being up in here. And the thing is with science is that science is a genetic thing, it's a spiritual thing, right? Um, with science, you don't necessarily have to study how they program us to study. What I mean by this is that studying science is meditating. That's a form of studying science, right? Um, grounding, going out to the beach and grounding your feet, going out in the grass, grounding your feet. This is a way of studying, right? We've been programmed to think, oh, to study, I have to go look at something over and over and over. There's multiple different types and there's multiple different forms of studying, right? It's not just one way of studying. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with school. School, a lot of people think like it's something wrong if they study differently. It's nothing wrong with studying differently, right? People's brains are different. I don't mean that in no negative way. I mean that in a real way, in an honest way. Everybody's brain is differently. In other words, everybody is different. So this person might do better with just doing flashcards. This person might do better when they're being pressured. What I mean by being pressured is they might do better with studying while doing push-ups or while throwing a football, right? While they're doing multiple things at once, right? And what I was talking about, but when I was saying stuff about pressure, I mean that in positive ways. I don't mean that in a negative way or nothing like that. Another thing too with the system is the system does not want you to evolve. It does not want you to get better. It does not want you to progress, right? It doesn't want you to keep going, right? Because the matrix is constantly sending energies and program systems to people to try to knock them off their focus, right? Social media is one of the biggest distractions on this planet right now. Social media actually needs to get terminated, to be honest. And I'm somebody who posts on social media almost every single day, right? The reason why I say social media needs to get terminated is because it's become a big distraction in a negative way. Social media is more of a distraction than it is positively. Do not get me wrong, it's a lot of people who speak a lot of real positive information, like myself and like many others. But percentage wise, it's more negative energy on social media than it is positive energy on social media. The percentage for negativity on social media is higher than positivity on social media, and that's just the honest truth. It's you know what I'm saying? And the thing is with social media is that a lot of times social media has inspired so many people to procrastinate, right? And to be in this low vibrational energies in these low vibrational states. You see what I'm saying? Right? We think it's something wrong if we don't have a certain amount of views on our video. Social media is the cause of that, is one of the causes of that, right? We think we're not doing good enough because we don't have a certain amount of views. You could be doing very good. Why? What makes you think that you're not doing good? What? Because people that you don't know, random people that you don't know, aren't watching it, aren't supporting it, aren't engaging in it? No, you're doing a really good job. Stop thinking that you're not doing a good job just because people aren't supporting you and, it's not getting a bunch of views and, you know what I'm saying? Views aren't everything, right? Likes aren't everything, right? You see what I'm saying? Another thing is, too, right, is that with the system, it wants you to be in fear. It wants us to be in fear, right? You see what I'm saying? It wants us to be in fear. It's a lot of people who know the information that I'm talking about, but they don't want to speak about it because they're in fear. Oh, I don't want them to come after me. I don't want them to this and that. You see what I'm saying? But in reality, we've been fighting. We've been at war with them. How you think they took over our planet? They had to battle with us. We still in battle with them. But a lot of people have gotten very comfortable in this battle, right? This is a spiritual battle. But a lot of us have gotten and became, a lot of us have become very, very comfortable in this battle. This is a battle. This is a spiritual battle, right? These people try to conquer us and take over us, right? You're not supposed to be in school. That's not natural. You're not supposed to be slaving and working for somebody, right? We think working is normal now, right? Oh, well, it's normal now. Is it normal now, or do you get paid more now? Are you not a slave anymore, or are you still a slave and you just happen to get paid more now? You have more freedom now. What's the terminology? What is the definition of freedom? Right? We're slaving. You're not supposed to be working for somebody else. That's slavery. Didn't our ancestors work for them? Right? The difference is now is you get paid more. You got more freedom. Right? You can call off from work. Right? These are manipulation tactics. It's to make you feel like you have the freedom, even though you do have the freedom because you have free will, so you can do as if you please, as you can do as you please. But it's the manipulation tactics to make you feel as if, hey, we're on your side. Even though in reality, in actuality, these people aren't on our side. These people dislike us. These people want us to fall. These people want us to be below them. They want to control us, right? But one of the best ways to control somebody is to make them think that you aren't controlling them, to make them think that you are doing the complete opposite. And I'm giving y'all a sauce right now. I've studied a lot of information about psychology and about manipulation. You see what I'm saying? This is one of the main reasons why I'm very good at picking up on people trying to manipulate and, gaslight, etc. Right? I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of insight. I've done a lot of information, done a lot of work on psychology, manipulation, right? A bigger cage. Facts. Well said. Very well said. You may or may not remember me after listening to you. I have gotten more successful in life. Thank you for everything, man. You're truly a GOAT. I remember you commenting on some of my. I remember you. I may not fully remember all the conversations that we had on live, but I do remember you though. But yeah, no problem. Shout out you, Milk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to. That's one of the main reasons why I'm here, bro, on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Is to help people. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out you, no cap. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main reasons why I'm here. This is one of the main reasons why I reincarnated back down here is to help people. Is to help my people. And like I've said before, everybody's my people. It's not just a certain race or a certain color or you have to look a certain way. No, everybody's my people. Like I said, one of the main reasons I reincarnated down here is to help my people, is to help myself, is to better myself, etc. You know what I'm saying? I've already been down here before. I done already, you feel me? My soul isn't young. And if it is young, it's not very young. Right? You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the main reasons why I'm here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Is to help the energy, the consciousness, the mind, the soul, the spirit, the avatar. You know what I'm saying? The avatar, the body is alive as well. The body is, avatar is conscious as well, right? It's more than just a vessel. It's more than just a shell, right? Tapped in, regulation in is a must. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, they want us to go against one another. They want us to fight with one another, right? We're supposed to be helping one another. We're supposed to be building with one another, right? We're not supposed to be going against one another. These are manipulation tactics. Oh, we'll pay you more. We'll give you some days off from work, right? You see what I'm saying? You can pick certain days, you know, where you want to have your vacations at, or, you know, you can call off some days, right? They want to make you feel like it's good, but it's not. That's not normal, right? Driving a car, driving a motorcycle, I'm not saying you can't be grateful for these things. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy driving your car or your motorcycle, but let's be real, these things aren't normal. They're not natural. What's natural is rising up and jumping on a dragon and flying on a dragon. That might sound crazy. That might sound, you know, fantasy or imagine wise, but in reality, this used to take place. We used to ride on dragons. This is a real thing. Dragons are very real. Ponies are real, right? You see what I'm saying? Etc. Right? Got a god body, got the goddess body, they got the face of an animal. These things are real, etc. But we've been programmed to think that these things are nothing more than a fairy tale or a fantasy. No, you know what I'm saying? Dragons are real. You know what I'm saying? Dragons are a real actual thing. They're real beings, and there's multiple different types of dragons. Some dragons uh, can literally like can breathe out, you know, shoot out spot fire. You know what I'm saying? Some may shoot out water, etc. There's multiple different types of dragons. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one type of dragon, right? And a lot of our dragons on this planet, if not all of them, have dropped into frequency. In other words, their frequency has lowered. So when your frequency is changing, your physical body, your physical avatar may change as well, right? For an example, I made a video a long time ago on here on my YouTube channel. Y'all can go watch it if you want. And I was talking about the butterfly, aka how the butterfly goes through metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, in other words, a very simpler term, is change. CHANGE, change. Right. This is basically where the person's or the being energy, the vibration is basically changing. And since it's changing so much, the physical form of the being is changing. Right. For an example, right. If I was to vibrate super, super, super high, right, my hair might get longer naturally. I might turn blue, right? You know, I might get very taller, right? I might have more insight and more information and more wisdom. I might tap into more information and more insight and more wisdom, etc. Because the frequency is shifting. The frequency is changing. You see what I'm saying? Right? Like energy is a real thing. Everything is energy. So with a caterpillar going from a caterpillar to a butterfly, even the name, let's talk about the name as well. The name of it changed. So why is it not still called a caterpillar? Why is it called a butterfly? Because they're telling you this is metamorphosis. It changed so much, they even changed the name of it. Caterpillar, butterfly, right? Because this is metamorphosis. The vibration changed so much that the color of it changed, the shape of it changed, the energy, the aura of it changed. It shaped and it shifted, it shape shifted, right? The caterpillar and the butterfly is more than just, oh, it's just, no, this is metamorphosis. This is shape shifting happening in front of us. This is vibration, this is frequency change. But a lot of people don't take it that far, and it goes even farther than that. You know what I'm saying? These are real things, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So the system doesn't want you to think. It doesn't want you to question. It doesn't want you to live in your peace. It doesn't want you to be in peace. It doesn't want you to be at peace. Because when you're at peace, how can they control you? Even though they can never actually control you. Right? A lot of times to be at peace, we think that we need to do something or achieve something to be at peace. Right? You want to be at peace? You want to feel better about yourself? You can go outside right now and go sit down on your chair. No music, no nothing. And just try to be in the present and just think of all the grateful things that have happened in your life. That's being at peace. That is an example of being at peace. And there's so many other examples. Like I say, that's literally an example. That's one example of being at peace. Being at peace doesn't necessarily always mean that you have to go accomplish something or go achieve something to gain peace. First, the thing is that peace is within everyone. Everybody has peace. Peace is naturally within you. You were born and you were gifted naturally with peace. Peace is not something that you go seeking or you go trying to go find or go looking for. This is why a lot of people who try to go find and seek peace, they don't find the peace, right? Truly they don't. Why? Because the peace is within you. It is internally, right? The peace, you don't go looking for peace. Peace is within you. It's about tapping into your peace more. It's about understanding and overstanding your peace more. It's about understanding and overstanding who you are as an individual more. Understanding your thoughts more. Understanding what aren't your thoughts. Understanding your feelings more. Understanding life more, right? You see what I'm saying? I'll give another example at being at peace. Being at peace is you're playing your video game, you're happy, you're in good energy, you're having a good time, you're vibrating high. That's being at peace. Being at peace is you're cooking your favorite dish, you're cooking your favorite food, you got some nice music on, that's your type of music. That's being at peace. It's multiple different versions, there's multiple different genres, there's multiple different fonts of being at peace. Right? Stop trying to compare your peace to other people's peace. Everybody's peace is different. Somebody's peace is just playing a guitar all day. They love the feeling of it. They love doing it. They vibrate high doing it. You might not get that feeling of doing it. You may not really prefer playing the guitar. You don't got nothing against it. You might not have nothing against the guitar, but you may not really be a person who really prefers playing a guitar. You might be a person who prefers to dance a lot, and that could be your peace. There's multiple different forms of peace, right? It's multiple different forms of high vibrational energy. And the thing is with high vibrational energy is it's levels to high vibrational. Like, you know, like with negative energy, it's levels to negative energy. And it's also levels to high vibrational energy and positive energy as well. It's not just one positive energy. It's not just one negative energy. No, there's multiple different fonts and multiple different levels and multiple different types of negative energy. There's multiple different types of positive energy, right? You see what I'm saying? It could have just been one number. Why is there multiple numbers? Why is there multiple numbers? Because there's different levels to numbers. You have your more higher numbers. You have your more lower numbers. You have your more in between, in the middle numbers, right? Etc. Right? You see what I'm saying? Life is frequency. Life is vibration, right? Life is up and life is down. Life is also in the middle. Life is also all three, right? Why do you think a lot of things, before I end out this live, because I am about to end out this live in a bit, why do you think a lot of things in life are in a three or in pairs of three? Why do you think this is? Because a lot of things in life are in a 3, right? The Ankh represents 3, the goddess, the god, the child, right? And the Ankh represents more things than just that as well. It represents a lot of different things as well besides those 3 things, right? You see what I'm saying? The 3 is a very powerful energy. The number 3 is very powerful, right? Why do you think these elites use the number 3 so much? They use the 13th or the 33rd, 33 so much, because these are powerful numbers. Why do you think they be using the 6, number 6 so much? The 6 is a very powerful number. 6, 6, 6, multiple 6, 1, 6. These are powerful numbers, but they are using this powerful energy in negative perception, in a negative format, in a negative form, right? You see what I'm saying? It gets deep, bro. You see what I'm saying? You see how we're talking about real math, we're talking about real science, we're talking about the system, we're talking about real information. This is stuff, a lot of the stuff that we're speaking on and discussing on, a lot of this stuff some people will never hear in an actual math classroom or in an actual science classroom, because the science teacher or the math teacher may not look at this as actual math or actual science, but in reality, in actuality, this is actual math. This is actual science. But you've been programmed by the system to think other words. And I'm going to end it off there. But look, man, I love y'all, man. It's so much more to love always, deeply. And I catch y'all from Mills on the next one, man.